First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics.
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, Faith Over Fear.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What's going on? Set the tone, brother.
Oh, what's going on? We back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. I am your least favorite host, AJ, Mr. Long Ass Day Williams. And I am joined with my hairless co-host.
Ball gang, y'all already know who it is. Your boy Hill. Hill gonna heal regardless, baby. Your boy also had a long day today. We're gonna get through this thing. You know what I'm saying? Cannon had issue he had to take care of. So, we're gonna definitely give and go, pick and pop, pick and roll, 2-man game, get it together. Y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms, 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. Get email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com.
Man, so we just gonna get into it because
Right,
as you know, I was in Florida last week, and when I was in Florida, I have I go places, and I'm one of those people like, hey, if I ain't doing nothing, I'm not spending no money to get a cut. But if I happen to make plans, then guess what? I'm gonna do what I gotta do, and I'm gonna get a cut. And as you know, I have lived numerous places, and I've told some of my stories about searching for a barber on this show.
Mm-hmm.
So also, I have quite a few barbers in quite a few states.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, I keep a good rapport with them. And so whenever I'm in town, I'm like, hey, if I need one, I'm like, hey, I'll pull up. And I do pretty good. I usually get in. But Jalen Rose, he tried to barber shame, and I don't appreciate that. Being from a different tax bracket than this man is, and so, well, if you haven't heard, let's give the people a little bit of snippet of what he said, and then we could deep dive in what the real issue is here.
So first off, the minimum you're supposed to be spending for a quality barber is $100. I'm here to defend the sanctuary DerekCarr barbers and beauticians. So many guys and people out there think y'all gonna show up and get a fly haircut and y'all gonna spend $35. Y'all gonna go to the end of the line, y'all gonna hit up y'all barber, they're gonna send you to the voicemail, you're gonna have a 1 o'clock appointment, you're gonna get there at 1 o'clock and somebody gonna be sitting in a chair.
This is the problem right then and there. He let it go to his head. He's one of those ones that normally has a fresh cut, and people have praised him. You're older gentleman, your hairline is still intact, your joint is sharp. They give they're giving you compliments on your haircut because normally your haircut is on point. There's no doubt about it. The way your lines, everything is shaped up, everything is good. I appreciate you, my brother. But let's not forget that you were also in the documentary Fat Five speaking about, y'all was in the crack house. Remember the crack house incident?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, remember when you ain't had no money? Oh, remember when BMF had to give you some money? Remember when you didn't have any money? Now all of a sudden you wanted to spend $100. We ain't making $1 million, brother. We ain't had an NBA career.
And my thing is, how you gonna tell me what the minimum I should be spending on my haircut is, especially after the COVID inflation happened with the haircuts? The cut damn near $50 anyway. So my thing is, don't tell me what it is and how my barber's gonna treat me, because guess what? My cuts are usually about $45, $50, depending on the barber, and I still tip well. And also, when I go, even if someone is in the chair, my barber knows, like, hey, look, you know, they're gonna be out soon because sometimes he got a family too. So he ain't about to just be like, hey, I can't cut you right now because I got AJ coming. And guess what, Jalen? If you Jalen Rose, you gonna get, you know, the special treatment because I would hope you not paying $100 if that's the type of treatment that you want. People gonna pay for the treatment. Like a lot of barbers now are moving to suites. You know what I mean? Like you know because it's a lot cheaper for them, and they can kind of do their own thing. They can brand themselves and be their own business. And so they have these schedules and everything. And yeah, sometimes people gonna go over, but usually for the barbers, if you have a good rapport with your barber, I can call my barber right now and be like, hey, bro, I know you don't got no appointments. Is there any time that I can, you can sneak me in? He'd be like, hey, look, go in the app, book a lineup, and then I got you. I don't pay him $100.
I don't, man. I get, like I said, I'm of the age where I remember my cuts was $7-10. You know what I'm saying? Then it went up to 15, 20, 25. Like you said, like everybody understands that I'm bald, but I still go to the barbershop to get an official cut as well. The lineup definitely, I mean, you see your boy, but I mean, I still have to, go through the barbershop experience as well. Like you said, we spending almost $50 on a cut minimum already. Regular people, based off the inflation of the prices of the products is going up. Hold on. Did I get a shot?
No. So I was about to make this point too.
Oh,
because but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead. I thought I caught a shot.
Because this is funny. Because remember how everybody used to prop up Steve Harvey? Hey, yo, Steve Harvey, his shit fire, his shit cut, this, and that. He popped up bald. Mike Tomlin. Oh, Mike Tomlin shit is yeah. I mean, his hairline always. Next thing you know, for about 2 seasons, motherfuckers always had on a hat, and then he just pop up bald. So Jalen, if I find out that lace front start popping off on first take, and that's why Molly left you, oh, we gonna have some issues, dog. Because now you coming out here haircut shaming, and then you over here with the bulldog, the razor that just go across the thing, and then you gluing your joint on coming on. Because I'm looking at them edges, dog, and I don't look. Hey, the one person who I know is two people who I can tell they got the natural joint. Aaron Donald and Michael Smith, the two motherfuckers that look alike. The two motherfuckers that look alike, they got the same damn hairline, and you can tell because Jay, like if you go back to that clip, Jalen shit is all black, dog. Like you ain't got I can't see no follicles in your hairline. Come on, fam. Bro, like even with the Duke starting 5, you gonna see some follicles in the front.
Especially at his age, and like you said, we understand that it's new things, it's new cuts, it's new experience with the cut. People using the razor, they giving you the hot towel experience. They washing your hair, they washing your face. You almost getting a facial by the time you getting the cut. I mean, some people, Jalen Rose is getting the Beijing sprayed into his joint.
Oh, he's definitely getting the Beijing.
It's getting blended. It's getting all that. So we understand at this juncture in 2023 that at some point things gonna have to change and the price is definitely going to increase. But you can kiss my ass when you talk about this $100. Jalen Rose, you my man. But when I see you, we're gonna have a little discussion about this, my brother. Yeah. Because like I said, if you want to, divvy up into the donation of the haircut, procedures, then
this is a bill, dog.
Yeah, and luckily I am bald now at this point. I can, so I can cut my own hair at times. But if I want it if I want to look like I am right now,
a little special touch,
I want it professional. I want that professional edge up. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I don't have that touch that the actual professional barber has.
Bro, it's when you go to the barber and you see them line you up and they line the beard up and everything and they do the razor and all that, and you watch them, it look like, okay, yeah. Bro, when I get back home, I got the straight razor. I got the the T-liners. Bro, my shit don't never be as sharp. I'll be like, God damn, like it looks like I ain't even did shit.
Bro, I got the joint that you can put it on your beard and use it to line your joint up, my joint still don't look like a barber, bro.
bro. And that's the difference between professional
Hmm.
and amateur.
There we go.
Because
I'm an amateur.
exactly, because it's just some things. Hey, the professionals, they know how to get the hair, to get it to lay down, to get it to all go a certain way. And that's another thing that I hate. You probably experienced this once upon a time, is how the barbers, when they in like when you there, they brush your hair a certain way,
Hmm.
and all your hair just look like it's supposed to go that way. It don't even like I ain't never brushed my hair this way and go across and then this, and it's just like the fade. It just like, all the hairs just lay down in the fade. Man, I get home, I be like, nope, nope,
Mm-mm.
nope. Don't. I'm like, put the hat on, god damn it.
So in all fairness, tip your barbers, tip your beauticians, show up to your appointments on time.
On
You
time.
know what I'm saying? Please show this industry or these individuals some respect. And like I said, in all due respect, don't we not taking it, we're not showing them any disrespect when we come to the discrepancy of the increase of pricing that we have to endure. But Jalen is wilding, but at the same time, please show these people some love and respect. Like I say, show up to you on time. Don't come in there, just be
Bro.
respectful, tip your people, and do your thing, man. It's a
And that,
profession.
that
It's,
that's
it's a
all.
job for them as well.
And all it is just peer pressure from social media and shit. Hey, bro, do what's in your tax bracket.
Facts.
Don't let none of these motherfuckers that's not in your tax bracket tell you how you should be living your life. Like that's why we got this issue with LLC Twitter right now. Cause they already telling y'all, hey, work for yourselves, do this. Some of y'all can't work for y'all motherfucking selves. Some of y'all need structure. Some of y'all need somebody to tell you, hey, you got to do this every day.
I'm telling you right now, if I pay $100 for a cut, and by the time I get out of the car, the cape should be on me. That's how I'm
If
acting.
if I pay $100 for a cut, I better have a full stomach and drunk by the time I leave that motherfucker.
You know what? $100 cut is definitely an emergency. Like,
Yeah, a
I
hundred
got to
dollar
go
cut.
somewhere.
That's a
Yeah,
house. Like that's like, hey, I'm trying to pull up to your house real quick, bro. I need this cut.
yeah.
I just found out I got to go out of town or something like that.
Convenience fee. That's what that
That's
is.
a convenience fee,
Yeah,
bro. I'm not about to just, bro. If your regular price is $45, why should at minimum I be the one that got to pay you $100
yeah,
because this other motherfucker said so,
yeah.
bro? Your regular price. My barber, he like, so they got the apps now where you can book. My
Mm-hmm.
barber has like the tiers. He got some shit called the social media package, where that shit is $75. And he say, and now I post you on Instagram and like do the enhancements and shit. No, I don't need to be on your Instagram, bro.
No,
Cut my shit and let me go.
but I'm pretty sure people are paying that price, But it's because I'm like, you probably sitting like, man, that's a nice cut. I might, yeah, feature me one time, show me on the gram one time. Somebody might want that, you know what I'm saying? And that's fine and dandy. It's posted. You have that option for that option if you ask for it.
But guess what? Before the pandemic, motherfucker used to post me with my regular $35 cut. And he
Mhm.
used to be like, hey, bro, you don't want no enhancements? No, I don't want none of that. Because when I go to sleep tonight and then I wake up, I am not going to look the same.
Yeah.
So don't give me these enhancements.
All these enhancements is definitely not good for you too. I lost a barber off of that. Like he started doing enhancement on me, and nothing I asked for. I asked for a regular cut. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there, you using the little pen and stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on, bro. Like nobody else does this. Like, nah, I did. I ain't gonna let you. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. He definitely did Beijing on my whole bed without my permission one time before, bro. And that was my final straw, dog. I'm like, you know what? I'm never going to you again. I changed
Got
the entire barbershop. Like,
got the Carlos Boozer special.
sent me there. No, like, come on, bro. You got me sitting there looking like booze. I'm like, nah. I'm sitting there frustrated because I never asked for this. And nobody has ever had to do this. I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm going to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
This your last payment for me.
It's the last one.
Don't
Last
worry
time.
about it. You
This is
lost
the
me.
last time you will see me ever. You lost one.
I changed. I mean, I changed entire barbershop. The entire barbershop had to take an L for that one, bro. Don't go to them.
No, yeah. I might leave a Yelp review.
We at that age.
Hey,
You gotta let them know.
You gotta let them know this is unacceptable. I will leave a Yelp review.
I mean, I used to laugh at that, but like you say, you spending your money, and like you say, the prices are going up. So it, like say, service shouldn't go down.
I've had to apologize to my mama a couple times because I'm like, hey, I know what you mean by you ain't trying to waste your hard-earned money because you work hard for your money. I know what the shit mean now.
Yeah.
I'm going like I be seeing the memes on the internet where people talk about like, oh, they want a woman who can make sure they send that'll send their plate back. Nope, I send my own shit back. I'm sending my shit back because if this steak ain't medium, how I asked for it is going back. God damn it, because I paid for it and I worked all week so I can afford this. I am not finna sit here and eat this well done boot.
Like I do.
God damn it. All right.
Well, let's move on, my brother. What we got next on the docket?
So we just finished the NBA All-Star game, All-Star week.
Mm-hmm.
We have discussed the All-Star game on this podcast before. We've discussed the Pro Bowl and how y'all don't fuck with it, how changes need to be made and all that. So we not really going to get into that because if you really want to know, just go in the group, listen to it. Just go back, read some of the stuff we said about the Pro Bowl and just put the All-Star game in there. And I'm sure it'll apply to how we feel. But it is some stuff about player movement that's coming up. And Adam Silver actually has some interesting comments where he said, we don't like to see players requesting trades, and we don't like to see it playing out the way it is. I would love the focus to be on the play on the floor. And that is in response to Kevin Durant's trade request. I'll let you go ahead first, my brother.
Can we get the Kyrie quote on there as well? Because I think the rebuttal
it does go hand in hand. Yeah. So Kyrie, he says
in a separate press conference interview, he was asked about his
trade from Brooklyn.
Yeah, his trade from Brooklyn, requesting the trade from Brooklyn. Let's say that, and he said, "When did it become terrible to make great business decisions for yourself, your happiness, your peace of mind? Not every employer you're going to get along with." And the reason why I wanted this quote on that is because he's 100% right when it comes to this. Like,
yep,
I'm confused. It's a request.
You don't have to honor it.
Exactly. It's because Kevin Durant made a request in the offseason. When did he get traded?
2 days ago.
You feel what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, boom. You don't have a no trade clause. You don't get to dictate where you go. We control this right here. So if we want to trade you, we can trade you. And if we don't trade you and you don't want to, you get suspended or fined for conduct detrimental to the team. It's just that simple. It's a two-way street. Now, for Adam Silver to say we don't like the trade request, I can understand it from a commissioner, an owner standpoint, because okay, it's a product. Like, okay, but I done gave y'all a max contract, and most people sitting there like, okay, you get a max contract, the most money probably you've ever had in your life. You should be happy. That should be it. That should be the end all. But money isn't everything to a certain degree. It's certain moves that you should be making. It shouldn't acquisitions that the team should be trying to do. At the end of the day, the common goal is to try to win a championship. And if the team is not doing that, I have the right to say I do not want to be here anymore. Right. At the same time, if I'm not holding up my end of the bargain, a team can say, hey, look, I got to get you up out of here. You're not meeting the value of your contract. I need to ship you away. What is the problem with a team doing it? I mean, what is the problem with a team trading away a player? And what's the problem with me requesting a trade? Like, 100%. What are we getting here?
And this is one of the things that we talked about. And I know, the whole, I mentioned that the player empowerment, quote unquote, they were going to put a stop to it. But also, this is a part of it because once again, like we've said this numerous times, How many times have we seen a player love where he's at and like never want to leave?
Yep.
And they'd be like, oh, well, you know what? We about to try and blow this up. You got to go. And they just give up. And to me, it's they're trying to put all this onus on the players, but this is also a league and like ownership problem, because a lot of these players, they're not requesting trades out of great situations.
True.
There may be some great potential there or something like that, but for the most part, the trades and the player movement, like just the player movement in general, just like with LeBron and the decision, that was Dan Gilbert's fault. Like, why haven't the pressure that's on LeBron James to be in that class with Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Kareem, Bird. Why are you not surrounding him with talent? Because, yes, he is quote unquote the chosen one. He's like, in his 7 years there, he took that team to heights that they hadn't seen since Craig Elo.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got him going against Dwight Howard, who was it? Rashard Lewis and all them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Then you got him. He get to the finals. Then he gets against Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, and then in the East they get goddamn. They start putting the Celtics together. I believe they did that while he was in Cleveland still too.
Mm-hmm.
So all these teams are built to neutralize LeBron. He's still getting you there with Mo Williams, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Daniel Gibson, people like that. And but everyone is just putting the onus on him. He can't do it. He can't win the big game. He can't get him over the hump. When it's just like, hey, help me to help us. I guarantee you, we talk about Jordan all the time, but people also bring up, Jordan's record in, the playoffs without Scottie.
Mm-hmm.
They got him a Scottie. They never got LeBron a Scottie when he was in Cleveland. He had to do it all on his own. And so if my legacy hinges upon me winning championships, but your legacy hinges upon, how much money you can make as an owner, we not on the same page and we not working together. Your job is to get me help. My job is to lead you there. And you didn't do that. So he left.
Yeah.
He went to a place, he got the requisite help, and he did everything that he needed to do. He got his championships. He went back when there was help in the building, and he left. Look at Steph Curry. Steph Curry ain't never had to ask for no trade, because guess what? They're putting stuff around him where it's like, all right, I like this. Tim Duncan ain't never had to request a trade, did he?
No.
Because he's like, nah, this is cool. I like this. People bring up when Kobe requested a trade. Guess what? Hey, keep your ass here. But you know what I'm saying?
He was playing with us, though. That's why he, at that point, and like you said, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but you said about when we mentioned the downfall of the player empowerment era, how it's about to come to an end, how the CBA is definitely going to be some changes, there's going to be some provisions on some of this player movement. But the reason why Adam Silver and people can come out and make a statement like that way, because it works. Because we still have naive fans that believe that some of these players shouldn't move. Like, oh man, he should just stick it out. Oh, you signed the contract. You should just honor your contract. We have a lot of people.
I hate that.
I understand that, but we still have a lot of people doing that.
Because we see it the most with football. Because of the salary cap. Oh, why do you gotta take this much? Take a hometown discount so you could do all this to win and this and that. No, why do I have to give a billionaire a discount when I'm the millionaire?
Exactly.
And I'm a first-time millionaire. You know what I mean? Like this is the first time this happened in my family. I've
never understood the enamor of people wanting to save billionaires' money. Like all these colleges out here, that's it, and I get it. Everybody has an opinion. We all have an opinion. We're in an opinionated era. So I'm not minimizing your opinion, but the moment that people want to save billionaires' money is the moment I just tap out, bro. It's like, okay, cool. It is what it is. You're so far gone. You're so far conditioned. You're so far trained that there's no saving you at this point. But like I said, for Adam Silver to make a statement like that is for people to, yeah, he should have just stayed there. Like, and then like people are going to, it's going to catch steam. It's going to catch, value because people still believe it. People haven't updated some of their thoughts. Like they're still like you mentioned Jordan. They're still stuck on Jordan staying with the Bulls his entire career. Larry Bird never requested a trade, and Magic Johnson never left, and Kobe stayed. And films that, like you say, they don't get the point where you don't have to when you are putting talent around you.
Right, because like when you look about it, when we always talk about it, people always like to bring up, oh, look at the amount of all-stars that Jordan played with and this and that. Well, also you have to look at the time because there wasn't a whole bunch of player movement, so it wasn't going to be a whole bunch of all-stars necessarily playing there unless you were homegrown. Like, the Lakers getting Kareem was like at that point in time, something like that was really unheard of.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And so then like Lakers getting Kareem and then you got Magic coming in. It's just like, oh, this is about to be something. Because remember, the Lakers was finna like collapse.
Yes.
So the Lakers, as we know it, was almost didn't happen. And then it's just talent. You bring in talent, you start infusing talent. And the frustrating thing about it is like you see it and you kill one person for seeking out the talent, but there's other people who like just got lucky to have the talent surround them and be homegrown, and they don't take that into account. Like, yeah, some like you see these players moving around because some of the situation that they were put in, it was just like, hey, if y'all not gonna do it, I'm gonna go somewhere where it's can. Like people like to bring up Dame, but how where is Dame gonna finish all time? Because Dame ain't. Yeah. Like people of this generation, like I ain't gonna say they're gonna treat him like Barkley, but yes, you showed loyalty to the Blazers.
Yeah.
But if that's what you want, that's cool.
He may get treated like T-Mac, however T-Mac is getting treated.
Yeah, but like I said, like it's different. Yes, you showed your loyalty, but did they really show loyalty to you? And I'm not saying that they just put some shitty teams around him, but
they got comfortable. It's more so it's like, okay, we kind of know that he's not going anywhere. We're gonna make an attempt to try to get some talent, and they've made an attempt. Like I said, it's still Portland. I get it's not a big market. It's not going to be a free agent destination. I get it. They've made an attempt to get some players around him. Like I said, all his teams haven't just been just damning them, just trash. But it's just the fact that it's like we still got that comfortability that, all right, man, he ain't going nowhere, man. Just keep shooting it out there.
Remember what I said about a lot of like football owners, how a lot of football owners, they want to win at a certain price.
Yeah.
But a lot of owners don't want to go for it and exceed that price point. So they'll do certain things to stay above float and hope, hey, we might, like, if we get lucky and win it, that's a plus. But this bottom line is really good. And that's what happens to some of these teams too. Like, hey, if we can just be competitive, that's all we need. And then next thing, and then if we get lucky, then cool, we got lucky and we just hit we a championship team. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what happens with a lot of these owners, and nobody calls this out. And it's just like it comes back all on the players, and it also comes back to me to the load management stuff. Like load management is an ownership and a league problem.
But at the same time, and I'm not disagreeing with the load management point. I had the point before that.
No, go ahead. My bad.
At the same time, these players that make that take the power in their own hands and try to control their own destiny, it's definitely an emphasis and definitely some accountability on your part as well. Like you said, like we stated, and we don't have to repeat it again. When Kevin Durant and Kyrie went to the Nets gave y'all everything that you asked for.
Right.
And all of a sudden, when it didn't work, now all of a sudden you want to blame somebody else. No, it's definitely a percentage of this accountability to land on your lap.
100%.
And certain players, certain players that take the power to the head, like Kawhi. Like you said, for some reason, I don't understand why he gets no criticism, but he took the power. Okay, we can talk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like he said, he took the power into his own hands and gets everything he wanted in the Clippers organization, and he has it produced. He has
Yeah.
it produced. So if Steve Ballmer, the owner, and they've like, you know what? I'm sick of this, Kawhi. I want to trade him. Whose fault is that? Is that a problem? Is that a problem?
No.
But it will be a problem if he requests a trade because what?
Exactly.
Everything that you asked for from the Clippers organization, they've given you. Now, at some point, like you said, like you said, you can't throw rock and hide your hand. That would say, like a lot of people, they got on me for it in Rob I trust. I kept saying Rob Pelinka I trust, Rob Pelinka I trust, because at the end of the day, a GM still has to do your job. These players, they have a lot of power and they asking for a lot. They make a lot of requests. They do all that. But at the end of the day, you still have to do your job. That's why Cannon had always said, "I do not care what Bron requests. Do your job, Ron." He never lets him. He never lets him off the hook when I try to give him some bail. Like, nah, man. Bron made that decision. He like, nah, do your job. These GMs still have to do their job. And when it comes to Bron, when I gave him some criticism, I'm like, hey, listen, this roster is nasty because of you. Don't sit here and try to start asking, oh man, we need some help. We need to do this. We need to do all that. This roster was nasty at a certain point because of the decision that you helped make.
Right. And that's why it's like being a GM. To me, being a GM, I don't think being a GM is hard, yo. Like, to me, I take it like being a parent. Yes, you can, like, your kid can, say, hey, I want this, I want this, I want this. But ultimately, it's my decision.
Yeah.
So I can listen to you. I can decide to say, hey, I like that idea, and we can go forward. But if it crashes and burns, guess who's at fault?
Me.
Because why am I listening to? Why am I like? No, like it's my job to be the decision maker,
and
I think that's the issue. And once again, we talk about the player empowerment, and one of the reasons why I say a lot of this stuff has gone on the league and ownership is how they've built the league. It's how they've built the league and what they value. Because one of the things we talk about, football fandom is based on team. NBA fandom is based on player now. A lot of people they don't go for a team. It's like, oh, this is my favorite player, so this and that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna, wherever my favorite player goes, that's who I'm gonna go. Even like right after Jordan, people start picking players and not a team per se. And so that happens. And so now people are with the player. And then one thing that I hated is, the expansion of the playoffs. Not even just, from the earlier days, but even more recently to play in. Now, bro, over half the league has a chance to get in the playoffs. Why am I of course I'm gonna sit. What am I just like when I was saying I like the BCS format, because the BCS format made all games matter. Because for the most part, once you got that one loss, it's gonna be tough. You got that second loss, oof. So to me, you giving 20 teams out of what? How many teams in the league? 30?
30.
You give it 20 teams out of 30 a shot at the playoffs.
But I got a question. I got a rebuttal to that. Can I?
Go ahead.
I thought you froze. My thing is, okay, cool. We do understand that this is a business, right? More teams, probably, more games equals probably more money, right? Right?
Yes.
And to a certain degree.
Because I have kind of a rebuttal to that as well.
Because what we had the issue with when the NFL expanded, they just expanded and didn't give the players nothing, right? We giving y'all more games on Thursdays, and we giving the extra game. We're not giving extra bye week. Okay, cool. I understand. We got an extended All-Star week. All-Star week, like that's pretty much a week off. They have less back-to-backs in the schedules, so they didn't stretch the schedule out to give you more rest day. They have less practices. So at the end of the day, okay, yeah, we added a few more games. We also gave y'all more rest days as well. So, and I'm not opposed to load management. I want the load management to make sense though. You know what I'm saying?
So here's my thing about it, and why I say where they fucked up was the playoffs. That's where they messed up with the load management, because now the urgency of game 37 doesn't necessarily seem as high, especially if I'm already a 4 seed. And remember, I talked about how, romanticizing, the championships of being all, putting you in that all-time great conversation has also done things, because now that's what Matt of course that's what you want, that's your end goal, but to really solidify who you are and your legacy, it's not just how good you played in the playoffs and stuff like that, and scoring and all encompassing. It's title or nothing. That's really how they treat you. Oh, you ain't got no title, you ain't, you can't even get in the conversation. So with that being said, it's just yeah, I'm going to save myself. Instead of playing 82 games, I don't care how many many back-to-backs you wiped off the schedule. I don't care how many extra games you put in between the All-Star break. If I still got to play 82, if I get us to 40, 50 wins, we putting this thing on kind of I'm going to cruise control to if we can get to 50 wins, we're going to put it on cruise control, and then I'm going to try and be healthy. And I know you talk about to say you can't flip the switch, but that's what everybody's doing. That's
not what everybody's doing.
I'm talking about just in with the load, in general with the load management.
Yeah, everybody's not doing this.
But let me finish. So what I'm saying is, what people are doing with load management, they're not necessarily saying we're gonna compete up until this point and then we go coast. A lot of people who are doing the load management, they're just picking spots here, say, hey, we playing the Wizards tonight. Go ahead, sit. Go ahead, sit, Clay. Just rest. Hey, we playing OKC tonight. Hey, we playing OKC off of back-to-back. Chill. We got a East Coast, West Coast swing. Hey, here, play one game, chill.
And that's fine.
Because that's what it's gonna that's what they feel preserves their body. And like we said, we've seen Pop do this. This is to me, this is where it kind of started from with Pop. And he had those teams ready to go in the playoffs with minimal injuries. Go ahead.
Those teams, those Pop teams, like you said, did the necessary work to position themselves for a seeding that they already acquired. So you asking for a team that, mind you, a team that's already been built, a core that's already been together. Team chemistry is not an issue for the Pop team, and those teams were old, so we understood that. Okay, we're going to give him some rest for that. Like I said, we're going to give him some rest. So we understood why he started to do that. I get it,
right.
But like I said, the chemistry was already there, the seeding was already there. Everything was already in place. So when it came playoff time, they could just flip the switch and get it together. Or you can have it like you're saying, strategically pick out your spot. Okay, I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing that game. Not playing that game. Or I came off a back-to-back. I didn't drop 40 to get the game before. Yeah, I deserve. Let me get a rest, coach, because it is a long season. But that's not manipulating the regular season. That's still building chemistry. That's still controlling, getting the seeding that you're wanting. That's still doing it. The Clippers are purposely manipulating and neglecting the regular season and thinking they can just flip the switch. That load management right then and there is an awful strategy.
But we've seen
what?
We've seen them do that, and that's why we said it's never going to work for them. And that's why
you pretty much was champion some of it, and that's why I was waiting for it.
No, I wasn't. I was not championing it. I'm saying that's what I believe the thought process is,
and it's a flawed thought process.
Of course, because even teams that don't necessarily have a shot, they load manage. And I think not only that is not necessarily just to preserve themselves for the playoffs, but it's also to preserve themselves for the long term. You know what I mean?
Which was not necessarily a bad idea. And like you said, if you strategically picking out, okay, yeah, I'm not playing the Hornets tonight. Oh yeah, I'm not playing the Pistons that next week. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. These sorry teams that my team should be able to win regardless. Yeah, like what's the problem? There's no need for me. The next thing you know, I go out there and roll my ankle for no reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not against load management. I'm against neglecting the regular season, similar to what the Clippers are doing, and thinking that you could just get in it and get in the dance and cut the music on. Nah, you better catch your rhythm.
You know, it takes me back to kind of the conversation that we were just having, this load management.
Mm-hmm.
How fans constantly kill the players when they request trades and all of that. Fans constantly kill the players when they load manage. Oh, hey, I wanted to, what if I wanted, it's the only game I could afford, and I want to see my favorite player and he sit out. But motherfuckers who tank just get to, like, the owners and the GMs and front offices that tank, they just get to skate because it gets to,
Mm-hmm.
hey, look at the bigger picture. Why I can't look at the bigger picture for the players?
Because they've been conditioned, bro.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know. That's
like you thought you about to get an argument from me on that one? No, they've been conditioned. They've been taught that the best way to rebuild on a team, to rebuild your basketball team, is to tank, is to trust the process, to be trash. So they understand that.
The best way to build a team is to not suck when you have draft picks.
But like I said, they've been conditioned, so they would look at taking totally different from a load management for somebody that paid a ticket. You know what I'm saying? If I bought a ticket, because I understand the argument. If I bought a ticket and I'm going to see somebody, I want to see that player. That's the reason why I bought the ticket. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to see Will Barton. I came to see Bradley Beal. You know what I'm saying? I didn't come to see Cam Payne. I came to see Devin Booker. You feel what I'm saying?
But that also goes back to selling the team versus selling the players.
No, I'm a Cowboy fan. I want Dak at quarterback when I go to the game.
No, you want
CeeDee Lamb at
you
quarterback.
Want Dak. You want Dak at quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes, you want Dak at quarterback. But if it were something to happen, and I'll use Joe Burrow because I don't want to say it, but like that season when Joe Burrow tore his ACL, I'm still gonna go see my team
because it's an injury. You understand the injury, like
right? And okay,
but prime example, like we played on the Commanders the last game of the season. It was predicted that we may not play all our players. I didn't go to that game. I'm not paying to go see my backups.
But that's the thing. So I went to a Bengals Ravens game before, and I enjoyed it. We didn't play all of our starters, but it was like, okay, cool. Because it was like, it still was that experience. And to me, it's also like the preseason. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just an opportunity to see my team.
You know what you're going for, though. Because if you're going to the preseason game, you're going to, okay, I'm going to see the preseason game. I may get a series out of Joe Burrow, you know what I'm saying? Or not. But like you said, but you know what you're going for. Like I said, if I went to the last Cowboys and Commanders game and I know that all my starters wasn't going to play, I know what I'm signing up for. But it's a difference for them. I done bought this ticket to go see the Wizards, the Wizards and the Lakers. I done bought this ticket when the season opened. I'm ready to go see the game. Brian played the Sixers the game before. He drops 35, plays 45 minutes. And then next thing you know, it's announced before the game over that he's not playing. I'm upset. And I have a right to be upset. Yes, I'm a Lakers fan, and I still want my Lakers to win, but I'm still coming to see Brian.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess because, like, I've gone to Suns games where it wasn't really nothing to see, but I just wanted to see the Suns. So maybe I think, having that downtime, like I've gone to I've paid for Wizards Suns tickets before.
I went with you one time.
That was bad.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But once again,
hey, we did. We got the little sweet shit. That shit was tough. Yeah,
we had a great time.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
we understood what we were going to see. You know what I'm saying? We didn't care. That was the one we're going to the game. You know what I'm saying? We go into the game. It's a difference from, you know what I'm saying? I buy these tickets early in advance for this specific reason. Like you said, even if it's your team, even if it's a game, it's still a specific reason. It was a reason why you picked the Ravens game to go to. Feel what I'm saying? There's a reason why I picked the Commanders game to go to or the Giants game that I went to this year. It's a reason why I picked those games specifically. It was a Monday night football game. Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's my team, but it still was a specific reason. So if my specific reason is to buy a ticket to go to a game to see a specific player, I have that right.
Definitely. Look, let's get to a little bit more basketball news real quick before we get up out of here. Shout out to Ross. He been in the comments. Let's show him some love. He been holding it down.
It's been many years when I backed up for starters, so I'm
Yeah.
going regard. But like you said, you are a diehard fan and you understand what you're getting yourself into whenever you purchase your ticket. We know even saying all that, we know purchasing a ticket is a gamble.
Yeah.
Anything can happen before that game.
100%. 100%. The Hawks, man, they fired Nate.
Somebody had to go.
Yeah, and it wasn't going to be one of the players.
Yep. Trade deadline is over. It's still All-Star break. You know, the game's on rezone till Thursday. Unfortunately, they are underachieved. They underachieved this year. This team was when they made the DeJounte Murray trade, we were kind of excited about some of the the position they could put themselves in, and they can go on a run. This could be a spark that this team could need, just like when they hired Nate. Nate McMillan was a spark for that team that propelled them to the playoffs. So it could work in favor again. You got to try something. Like you said, you can't get rid of the players at this point. Like you said, you didn't sign Trae Young to a super max. DeJounte Murray's probably get paid. John Collins is probably going to get paid. He's already been paid actually. This team has definitely have pieces. They have talent. This East is it's some teams in the East that they should not be below. They be below. So, like I said, it's a shot in the dark. Maybe it could be a positive effect, or it could just flame all completely out. And if it flames completely out, the Spurs are definitely happy as hell. But
oh yeah, definitely, because they be like, oh yeah, give us all that. Give us all that.
They got them picks for it. But your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I hate to see Nate McMillan go because I think Trae Young is being kind of a diva over there from the reports that I'm hearing. And I think Nate McMillan is a great coach. Well, let me not say great. I think he's a really, really good coach.
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that's what I agree.
And if it were kind of just like wasn't hearing some of the stuff with John Collins too, and how John Collins is frustrated, maybe I'd be like, hey, yeah, Nate is, that's just, you want, who's the face of your franchise to, be with somebody he can pair with. But from how it was sounding like, I need to see Trae be able to work with, whoever they bring in. And also, this might be in one of those situations. How much control do you give Trae? And when's the GM going to just stand in and be like, "Hey, I'm the adult here."
This is the point. He hasn't earned any control. See, that's the thing. Of course,
I know I'm always on the side of the players, but him getting that supermax makes him feel like he has.
I mean, because he earned the contract. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
He earned the contract. I'm not diminishing his efforts on that part, but earning credibility or cachet in the front office, in the moves, you haven't earned that because you haven't produced in the playoffs. Not necessarily him. I'm just saying the team hasn't produced that on that level. It's levels to player empowerment. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I can give you a contract, my brother. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. But you in the front office making Braun decisions? No, sir. We're not having that. What have you produced?
Be able to do it.
And at the same time, like your GM has to GM. You feel what I'm saying? Like you mentioned Steph earlier. He didn't make a trade request. Has he even been in a personnel meeting? Probably. He probably trusts the front office so much to make the right decision that he don't care.
Yeah. And
he has the credibility to say, hey, look, bro, get him out of here, or do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? He has that credibility. He built up that cachet. Go ahead.
And just to kind of go off that Steph point, it's like they've at every stop. They've kind of shown that they can do that, whether it be from, draft picks. Because it's just like, even if Wiseman isn't hitting right, like as of now, when they got him, we was like, oh shit. Then you see them get Jordan Poole, like, and see him kind of do that, and he fit right in that system. And then you see him get, Gary Payton the second at one point in time. Then you see him, go from Harrison Barnes to Andrew Wiggins, and Andrew Wiggins looked like what we thought like a piece of what Andrew Wiggins should have been looking like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, then you bring in, Kevon Looney, and it's just like they turn up aces over and over and over. And it's just like, yeah, like, I trust y'all.
So it's like, but I'm also at the same time, like I said, I do understand that, Trey may be a difficult person to deal with. Like I said, I'm not there. I don't know, but I know I know in my position, like I said this with Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton, figure it out. Like at some point, egos have to be checked and figure it. Like, bro, we are 29 and 30. We have no business being under 500. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. They under 500, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Why you looking at me like?
No, I was getting something on my eye.
I'm like 29 to 30 years on the 500. I'm like, maybe my math. But yeah, it's like, figure it out, because now look at yourself, Nate.
Look at you, Freeman.
You fired. And I'm not necessarily saying that he didn't try all the necessary options to try to reconcile whatever differences this team had. But you wasn't pushing the right buttons. And like I say, unfortunately, we know the players wasn't going to go. You had to go. They got some options. They looking at some coaches that deserve some, head coaching opportunities again. So we'll see what they'll do moving forward. But
since Cannon is not here, this is the perfect time for us to talk about this. Because this conversation is going to go a lot smoother without Cannon. So,
but the fun, but Cannon don't cap over here, so he would have been objective. He would have been objective, but luckily we're not going to predict him to go into the Commanders, so we definitely go keep it smooth on this one.
I might do that just because.
DerekCarr had a great. They said he had a great meeting with the Jets. It's kind of making sense of him going to the Jets. He had permission to talk to the Saints at first, and I think they had the trade in the works, and I'm not giving the Raiders any compensation, and kudos to him,
which is very smart.
And kudos
I love that.
Yeah, kudos to him. And it's like now it's teams that he has to deal with, so it's looking like the Jets and the Saints are in the 2-team race. And I've seen some rumors about the Titans as well. I don't really get that, but it's fine. My thing is this is my sleeper team on why haven't we heard anything about where are the Falcons?
A pipe dream saying that they're going to get Lamar for 4 first-round picks.
Okay, cool. You tried to go get Deshaun Watson. Cool. You almost had him. The Browns didn't give him that contract. Cool. Now you're rumored to try to want to trade everything in the world and give a contract to Lamar Jackson.
That's so racist. I hate that rumor. I can't. Why Lamar of all people got to go to Atlanta? Got
to leave one black city, go to another black city, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, you see him? My thing is, why aren't they in the race to get a DerekCarr to go with the personnel that they already acquired?
Yeah. No.
With a Drake London, with a Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson, like with what they seen last year, be a competitive team that they were last year with a Mariota to a certain point.
So, quiet as it's kept, my sleeper team was the Carolina Panthers.
I'm glad to see. There we go. Go ahead.
Because once again, we've seen that division is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And with that defense, DerekCarr ain't never had a defense like that.
Never.
And say what you want, you still got DJ Moore. You have a high draft pick, and they have room to bring in some other people. And Frank Reich, this is his second time around. So
Can I rebuttal that, please?
yes,
How many veteran quarterbacks are we gonna give Frank Reich?
I know.
I do not care. I do not care that this is Carolina. How many veteran quarterbacks are we going to continue to keep giving Frank Reich?
Okay,
Go ahead.
So,
You can go.
So,
but I love it. I love it. I still love it.
Right, and that's why I was that's why I was my sleeper team. So, what do you think as far as a contract Derek Carr would get around this point in time? Like how many years?
Years? It should be a 2-year deal with any team.
Exactly. And see, this is where my thinking was going. Get Derek Carr, bring him in on that 2-year deal, sign draft Anthony Richardson. Okay. Anthony Richardson has all the ability in the world, and he's not him. But if you look at how strong he is as a runner, how willing he is to throw, but he needs some polish. He can remind this city, because I'm in Charlotte, if y'all don't know, but he can remind this city of Cam, yo. You allow him to kind of, sit back and really polish some stuff. Because if you watch Anthony Richardson, like he played for, the team in Gainesville, our rivals and all that. But he's not like some of these like unpolished, runners that come out. He will try and stand in the pocket. It's just sometimes it just don't all click. And I just think he needs to get with someone to be like, hey, this is what we're looking at now. You know what I mean? And if you can get someone to put that talent together, it'll be great. When we get to our draft show, I'm gonna talk about a place that I want Anthony Richardson to go. But for Derek Carr, to me, the Jets would be the best place for him.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
So with that logic that you just said with Anthony Richardson, right? Can I apply that to Zach Wilson? Is Zach Wilson done to you already? Why you thinking? They signed Carr to a 2-year deal, right? It'll be year 4 by the time Zach Wilson, by the deal is up. You pick up his 5th-year option. Right?
Yeah.
By the time, let's say it doesn't really work out to the certain extent with Carr, like his time is up in those 2 years. Did Zach Wilson learn? Could he possibly learn something from a Carr sitting those 2 years?
He could possibly learn something, but what I don't know is if he could get the locker room back,
Okay.
And step back in, because that was my issue with Zach Wilson. I think if Zach Wilson just kind of took his medicine after those bad games and got benched, and said, hey, my guys rely on me and I'm going to do everything that I can to, get better and help us win football games, instead of saying, nah, I didn't let them down. Even if that's not how he intended it to come off. As a quarterback, you got to understand those things.
Yeah.
I think he could have made it through this. But I think after like some of the things that happened, and then, some of the wide receivers coming out speaking the way they spoke.
Yeah.
I think he's done in New York. And I think it's one of those things, it's time for a change of scenery.
Yeah, that's fine. So, same logic. Could Desmond Ridder learn from Derek Carr?
Yes. Desmond Ridder can learn from Derek Carr because, one, they didn't invest the draft capital that they invested in Zach Wilson in New York into Desmond Ridder. So if Desmond Ridder, bro, sit down and learn, bro. It's kind of one of those situations.
Because at the same time, he would be in year 4. He would be going into year 4 by the time. Would it be going into year 4?
No, he'd be. Last year was year 1. 2. Yeah, he would be going into year 4.
Yeah, see, he be trying to my math, bro. Stop playing with me. He would be going into year 4 on a prove it year. And like I say, let's say he has a positive. He learned from Derek Carr, and he has a great year. They franchise him cool. I think that could work. I think those two options could work, because I'm not opposed to your logic either, because I'm actually using your logic for those two spots since they already had drafted young quarterback in
Mm-hmm.
place. Don't give up on those quarterbacks. Actually develop them. Like,
Right. And this is and to me, this is the opportunity to have a bridge. If you don't think that they're ready, let them know that you're still in our future plans if we see the growth, but we got to see the growth. And like I said, the Falcons are in a much easier position to move on from Desmond Ritter
yeah,
because of the draft capital and stuff like that. Like they could, I think what they could probably cut him in a year or two and barely, you know, take a hit.
yeah.
Zach Wilson, bro, that's a second, like that's a number 2 overall pick.
And we didn't mention this team. We got to move on. We didn't mention this team because I use the same logic for Frank Reich. I said, how many veteran quarterbacks are they going to use for Frank Reich? But why is the Colts in on Derek Carr? I got get it
Because they're scoring from Phillip Rivers, Carson Wentz, and Matt Ryan.
That's fine. You about to go draft a quarterback, and you may be out of the range of a Bryce Young and a C.J. Stroud, but you can go get a Will Levis. And I'm not even high on Will Levis, but I'm high on Will Levis if he's learning behind a Derek Carr.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And that's one of the reasons why it's like that's why I mentioned Anthony Richardson in Carolina. And so I'm with you right there on the same logic. It's just like go get the guy. And guess what? If you sign a Derek Carr to a 2-year deal, depending on how the money's structured, you can get rid of him after one season with minimal, dead money. And you can go for your guy and put your guy in. And then Derek Carr, he can get back on the market. And if he plays somewhat decent, he still should have some sort of market because it's only 32 quarterback jobs, and there's only so many motherfuckers who can actually play them at a certain level.
Yeah. So let's move on.
Ugh.
This right here. We
touched on it.
We touched on it last week about it, so we don't really have to repeat ourselves. We posted it in the group. We went back and forth with people in the group. Like I said, on the positive outlook, like I said, we hope everything goes well to a certain extent because I'm a Cowboys fan. Like you said,
I'm rooting for everybody black that's not in Pittsburgh.
So I'm saying, so we hope the offense, takes off. We hope Sam Howell's develop. We hope everything that we can actually show a definitive change in the Washington Commanders offense organization and be like, you know what, Eric Bieniemy was responsible, so we can actually show teams that he is a key component. He's a key piece. He's definitely none of that stuff that Shady put out on his platform.
Fucking hater, bro.
None of that. And I'm so glad that other players that played under Eric Bieniemy definitely refuted everything that Shady just said. So we can, but at the same time, it's not going to get the same light because Shady is an entertaining person. He's a loud individual, and like I said, he just did the dirty work out of all the individuals that all the naysayers for Eric Bieniemy. So that's all he needed. See, it's like, see, he can't coach. He's not involved. He's not it. All they need is one. That's all they need is one, and to use it, and they're gonna run with that. So they don't need to hear about all the other players that was on his side, that all the positive things that Andy Reid has said, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Jamal Charles, Tyreek Hill. Like we don't need it. We're gonna ignore all of those. We just gonna keep listening to Shady and say, "Yep, it's the end all be all." There,
right.
He's
and
good.
the thing that's most frustrating to me is he was only there 1 year. It wasn't like he, was like spent 3, 4, 5 seasons there. Bro, you spent 1 season there when you was past your prime. Like they brought you in as a depth piece. And once you left there, you didn't do shit in Tampa. Like at least you had, a backup role in Kansas City.
Yeah.
You didn't do nothing once you left Eric Bieniemy. So why are you hating on him? So that's kind of crazy to me. But
like you said, it makes zero sense, But Eric Bieniemy, hope you get everything that you're asking for, that that you strive for. This is the reason why you made this move. It was a personal decision. So we're gonna ride with you. And like I said, kudos to you. Good luck to you. Now let's introduce our new segment.
We have a new segment. Go get your ass off the screen, bro.
So 4 minutes with the fours necessarily may go over, may go short, but we definitely have our guy Jarvis Cannon. You know, the infamous 3-man weave Bruce most hated. I cannot. I'm just joking. But former Eagles captain Chris, well, I don't know how to say his last name, Maragos or whatever. He was awarded. Let me see how much money was he awarded. Let's load it up.
He got that Flow Rider deal.
Okay, this is not working.
Oh shit! See, we air a new segment and it just goes to
I don't know
shit.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but I'm just about to go back to what I know. He was awarded a settlement.
Segment.
Where we at? God damn it, why does this always do that? His question, let me go to get to the question. The question is, should players
$43.5 million.
Got $43.5 million. The question that Jarvis is asking, the question is, should players be able to find and use their own primary doctor to avoid things happening like this?
No, you should not be able to solely use your primary doctor. You should be able to get second opinions, which you are allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean, of course, because once you sign that contract, you kind of become an asset to the team. So they're going to want their doctors to look over you. It's the same thing when you are selling a car. Whoever you're selling a car to, hey, I want my mechanic to look over it because I'm the one that's buying it. I'm the one that's putting the investment in it. When you buying a life insurance policy, what they do, hey, we're going to send our doctors to your house because we're the ones insuring you. And so, yeah, it ain't so just because you say, hey, my doctor said this, we want our doctor to look at you first. And if their doctor looks at me and says, hey, nah, my knee is cool and I can go out there and play, but I know my body and I don't want to do that, I'm going to go get a second opinion. We've seen players get second opinions, and and it comes up different than what another doctor, than what the team doctor has said. And it may be a fight, it may be an issue, but at the end of the day, if my doctor says you should probably get this surgery, that's when we're going to have to weigh it out. And most likely I'll do it. But if the team doctor says, hey, you should get surgery, and my doctor says no, and then I get hurt because I didn't get the surgery, then what? You know what I mean? So yeah, you can get your doctor, but it's all you have that right. Like they can't just force you and say, no, our doctors are the only ones that can see you. That's illegal.
Yeah. Like you have that, like you say, you have that option to get a second opinion, and you can use those opinions to make your decision that you want to do. Like you say, we've seen it numerous times. Like, oh man, I got an ankle sprain. Somebody has an ankle sprain. Like, man, go ahead, get the cleaned up surgery, or we can rest and it'll heal on its own. That's two different opinions. Like you say, you make the decision on what you think is best for you and your body.
Yeah, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Because I'll say, and sometimes with stuff like that, people don't even see a doctor. They're like, hey, bro, I'm not ready.
At the same time, like you said, look, I'm not feeling it, bro. I'm not feeling 100%.
I don't trust it. Just like when Jamar, when he fractured his hip, they kept I think it was the Titans game. He worked out. We all thought he was gonna play. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, nah, I just didn't trust it yet. I just wanted another week.
And like you said, you can have a whole MRI, a whole CAT scan, and they can say, hey, you're healthy. But if you don't trust it, that's your second opinion. You be like, hey, look, I'm not going out there. Like you said, it's plenty of times that we've seen people medically cleared, and they say, you know what? I'm gonna give it another week. Let me give me some more time. Yeah. So like you said, you have the option, but I'm just glad that in this situation that he was awarded money that he lost, and like I say, somebody definitely had to make a mistake because getting this settlement. This big of a settlement, a mistake was made.
And I don't know his last name. They got some wages off of that motherfucker. Because I tell you what, I don't know if he'd have made that just by playing.
I'm like, Captain.
Boy caught a lick.
But he had another time. He said, why is it not tampering when teams call coaches that are coaching and under contract, but if players on different teams talk about off-season plans, it's a problem. Well, it's a process when it comes to the coaches. Like I said, they definitely get permission from the team to interview coaches first, and also then after that, the actual coach that's being asked to be interviewed, he has that right to either grant them permission or deny them. Like I said, we've seen coaches plenty of time deny requests and not necessarily take on an interview, or not take a job that that they've been interviewed for. It's like I said, it's a process, and most times teams go through their checkpoints and make through the process. Players as well. Some players are granted permission to go, their agent to go seek out a trade or to go seek
Derek
out.
Carr.
At prime example, Tyreek Hill was another one. If you want to do that, but like I said, you had to get permission first before you do that. You can't just go willy nilly. You can't just go out there on social media and be like, hey man, look, man,
Go full Tom Brady.
Man, who need a receiver? Like, nah, you can't do that. That's just that, you have to, and if you request a trade, your trade is definitely formal. It's a formal trade request. That's the paperwork is in, and like I said, it's reported. It's checkpoints and ways to go about it. Like you said, tampering is definitely a real thing, and we definitely don't really want a whole lot of tampering to go along, but we do understand that definitely deals is being talked about under the table. We definitely, like you say, the combine. The combine ain't just for these players. The combine is basically legalized tampering with these agents and GMs getting together.
Jesse Bates already having dinner with every single Atlanta Falcons player.
You feel what I'm saying? That's tampering. Technically.
Yeah.
But
man, if he signed with the Falcons at 12:01 at the time that free agency opened, I'd be
file the claim. Got to file the claim.
We better, dog.
Got to file the claim, but
they don't talk about this is agent. It was an agent party.
Yeah, okay. I mean, but hey, that's a smart way to go about it. It's ways to it's ways to finagle the system. It's always
loopholes. Always loopholes.
So you got to go about it the proper way. Like, okay, hey, how can you not say it's not an agent party? I'm their agent. We're having a party. So I'm saying, how can you deny that? These are checkpoints that you got to go through.
Is Ross still here? I gotta make sure, because I was gonna say at least T wasn't there because they got the same agent.
You gotta dot your I's and cross your T's. Speaking of, DerekCarr, T. Higgins in Tennessee. What you think, Hill? I'm thinking this is definitely a dream. That definitely, you throw this away.
It's a dream deferred, my boy.
Yeah, just go ahead and give up. Y'all should just go ahead and give up on T. Seeing all the reports that everybody wanted to just trade for T. That everybody want to make T available. Yeah, everybody want to make T available, and I don't think he's available. But I do understand why people are making him available, because definitely kind of being
shit. If he wasn't on my team and I needed a receiver, I'd try and make him available.
You'll call it too. But shouts out to the four. And I want to shout out Jarvis as well. He went through the proper channels. He sent us a email in the DM, and he said this is the question that I want, and this is the question we talk about. And like you said, it was 4 minutes with the four. So everybody else that you can see, like I say, please. What I do?
No, I'm about to send it in the chat.
Oh, okay. Because second time you did it to me. It's ways to get us better. You can email us podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. You can definitely hit us up on our social media. You can definitely at us directly in the group. And we do what you got to do.
We really ruined the Titans, yo. I'm sorry, Ross, but y'all not beating us next year either.
Shouts out to our guy Ross. Shouts out to the rest of the fools. I am Hill. That's AJ. Caden is out there. Y'all enjoy. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Do all that. It's episode 185. And we out.
We out.